Yo, yo. Hey, what's up, everybody? I think I am live. Ooh, I am live. Okay, let me click on Instagram real quick. As soon as that registers with the world, it should be registering, but it's not. Thank you for holding, YouTubers. We're going live today. I got a project I'm ready to work on. Oh, going live on Instagram as well. Okay. We are ready. Sick. Okay. Let me get some of these windows set up. Oh my goodness. I'm like epically failing over here. That's the restream window. You guys don't need to see that. Let's get that there. Okay. Let's get the Instagram window going. Hey, for those of you jumping on Instagram, thanks for jumping in. Good chill morning. I actually just woke up. I didn't set an alarm today and figured, I don't know, my family's usually up pretty early, so it kind of just wakes me up by osmosis. But yeah, I didn't get up till like, I don't know, 7:45. So I don't have a ton of prep time. Let's see here. I'm going to YouTube too, so I can see comments or anything we need to on that end. Alrighty. Yeah. So what are we working on today? Working on getting some coffee. Hey, getting ready to start a new kitchen layout for a client. That's awesome. What do you do? I assume, so I get a lot of requests for like remodels and stuff for kitchens, and it's really hard to do remotely, and they're just like generally hard work. Like with something existing, it's harder than something new, for whatever reason. So, yeah, mad respect for working in new kitchen layouts and stuff, unless it is just a new new plan, just you're a kitchen designer, which is entirely possible. How do I see the chats in Restream? I swear I've done this before. This isn't my first time live streaming. I know how to do this, I think. All right, I need a sip of coffee. I literally haven't had any coffee yet. Did I say I just woke up? Okay, today, what are we working on? Awesome. Glad you asked. I have this paired patio ranch plan. This is the one up on the screen here. Or Rambler, as they call them in Minnesota. And the original version was to pair this alongside a 2-story home. And that worked, and it led to a pretty cool looking building. But I don't want that up. Oh, where's it? Okay. However, I can pull it up in 3D for you too. However, it led to an expensive build as well. So we're going to try and work on today getting a build that's much more cost effective by pairing the ranch with the ranch, and just see what this does to like the 3-dimensional perspective of it. So yeah. Yes, I want to save changes, please. That is not the most recent file of that one. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, it is this one. Let me copy that over. All right, so this is the 3D of what we had. You can see here the ranch plan paired with the 2-story. Personally, I like the look of it. I feel like it didn't lend itself to looking like really high density, which I think is good. I don't think anybody wants to live in a place that's like, oh, we really packed the houses in here, you know? So trying to get the feel like there's space and uniqueness and stuff. So I know I could just take this and flip it on the demising wall and just do that. What I don't love about that though is, so let me take a step back. In this unit, the 2-story wall ended like back here somewhere, and then there was a patio. So this window actually just kicked out to open space. So it got a little more natural light in that dining space. But if we flip it along its axis, just do that, then that window goes away. And really, your main living area, the kitchen, everything, the only natural light you're getting is here. And it's kind of trapped between these covered porches, which I don't love. So I wanted to try something different. Our sites, when you're working on, let's start here. When you're working on duplex designs or like paired patios, anything with density, the sites can be really rigid and also very unique from job to job. Like you can't, it's kind of hard to buy a floor plan of like a 4-unit building because you don't know the size and shape of the lots, and like it gets really specific of what you can and can't fit. So I know this building pad works. I'm going to work within this. We've pretty much maxed out our buildable area on these lots from this perspective earlier. And then, so yeah, I know this footprint works, but you need to just really pay close attention to it if you're designing like this. This is for a builder, so I know they do 2x4 exterior walls. So we're gonna start there. I'm actually gonna try something here where instead of putting the master to the front, I'm gonna put it to the back and see if I can make it work where all the living area is to the front of the house and the bedrooms are to the back. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. We did get a lot of space out of this original unit, 2 bedrooms and a little pocket, 7x7 pocket office, or maybe that turns into your pantry, depending on how you want to use it. But you do have a pantry closet here as well. So yeah, you could do either. I always do that. F1, I need to change F1 in AutoCAD because it's the help button. But at this point in my career, I'm not really like pressing the help button for help in CAD. Okay, I like this footprint too of the front of the building. So I'm going to pull that over as well and work off of that. I have to sneeze. Sneezing during lives is the worst. Nope. Okay, we're back. We made it. Oh, goodness. All right. So I can play with where this wall sits too. I like the idea of a porch of some sort. Just feels a little more inviting. I can't extend that porch past the front wall of the house, though. I don't have room on the site. I could pull it forward a little bit. And then garage. So this is back to the specificity of building sites when you're working with like pairs and duplexes and stuff. This is an alley loaded site, so all the garages are to the back. I actually really like developments like that because it lends for just a lot prettier streetscape, in my opinion. You can getting the garages out of the way makes all the houses look cuter. It just does. All right, let's see here. So let's say for this alley side, we don't need that bump out so deep in this version either. Let's bring it in a couple feet. All right, let's go 14 by 13 with a little bump out for the master. Let's see where that gets us. need to preserve some sort of access area for the mudroom to get into the house. So yeah, this is why. Okay, immediately now I'm like, this is why I put the kitchen to the back, because to get from the mudroom to the kitchen is going to spend a lot of space in hallways and stuff. If I do it, but let's try it. Let's try it just to see if there's a better way to lay it out. I'm going to increase the size of all this text so you can read it. Okay, so my first inclination is to put the mudroom more toward the center of the house. I feel like if we do that, we'll end up wasting less space on hallways later. But if we make this mud laundry, caps lock on, if we make this mud, that means I need at least 6 feet this way for closet bath, maybe more even, honestly. Okay, and then what does this space get used for? So let's see here, at least 42-inch hallway going in. And then there over, okay, 10 feet is enough for a small bedroom. So we could do 10 by 12, 10 by 13. Let's start with 10 by 12. These are pretty small units, so I'm not super concerned about having the world's most giant bedrooms. No one wants small bedrooms, but I think if people were to sacrifice space, it'd be the first place they'd think is that hall bedroom. Okay. So this is bed 2. And then, you know, maybe that master suite comes out over here. We need a hall bath. We need mechanicals. We need a living space. One thing that's nice though about putting everything to the front then is there's less space wasted in the hallways with like an entryway and stuff. Like this entry is kind of buried in here. Whereas now we can open to just the main living area. So let's see here. Where would I want what? I think even though it's like a modest side yard, I think you'd want something, maybe even like we have to pull that in some for like a porch area. So let's show like a 6 by 10 recessed porch into the unit, which I know adds a little bit of cost. It doesn't need to complicate the roof though, because we'll cover all that. So notching all that foundation, yeah, is going to add some, but not a ton because you're not notching the roof as well. You're also taking away square footage, so it's balanced-ish. We need to move that all 1/2 inch. I've noticed just over the years, like with doing a lot of AutoCAD, get very picky about half and very small bits of the inch. There'll be sometimes when I draw something like just very slightly askew, and then you're dimensioning and you put a dimension line down, and the dimension is like 4'3" and a 16th. It's like, okay, crap. I never intend to draw in 16th. So where did that 16th come from? And then you have to go back through and figure out which line is askew. That's real annoying. Coffee break. For those of you jumping on Instagram, thank you for jumping in. If you have any questions about home design process, not necessarily even this plan, I'd be happy to answer them. All right, I'm just gonna, a lot of times when I'm designing, sometimes when I'm stuck, just start putting stuff down and see what happens. So let's just put the kitchen in this corner and see if that feels right or bad. I like that. If we put the sink here, you're not looking like your field of view, you know, is this way when you're walking in, so you're not looking right at that sink. I know like aesthetically, we're gonna need a big window or something on this wall. And I can play with where this wall is too, but I liked the balance of the previous version, so I'm not dying to change it if I don't have to. But I know we'll need some sort of big window on that wall for it to feel right. We could just go giant island, giant great room. Why do I feel like I have so much more space in this? Am I missing something? Okay, that's plenty of room for bath closet. I'll show that a little bit later. There's plenty of room for bath closet. We could do the hall bath here and then do a powder bath, although that's adding extra cost, so we don't need. Let's try and keep the one hall bath. Well, you know what I would do then is do like the hall bath there, and then take that bed back to there. So then all that equals mudroom. With a long, slender layout like this, like you're gonna have some hallways. It's just kind of unavoidable. We got a bigger mudroom though. It's bigger than our last version. Okay. We have a lot of floor area here still, but we don't have that pocket office. I do like this little covered patio nook here. And then rotating that. Yeah, that all works. Ooh, I guess could think about doing this too, rotating it on this axis. Or mirroring, I mean, excuse me. Although we need to flip our patios to this side. But then the added bonus is the master. It doesn't back up to another master, which might be nice. Yeah, let's play with that. So a lot of times, again, when I'm designing, I will, I like to just copy and drag over because you never know how an idea is going to feel, or sometimes you know, but it's hard to really get an accurate idea for how an idea is going to feel until you actually, oh no, wait. That won't work. Our bed doesn't have an egress window anymore. Never mind. See, this is why, as I was saying, this is exactly why you copy stuff over. So yeah, I know it's not ideal to have those masters back to back, but I feel like we have gotten really good at sound insulating, and there's a lot of things you can do. Google STC ratings and wall sections. There's a lot that have, just based on the framing assembly, have an STC rating for the exact assembly. So all right. Okay, so there's a lot of floor area here. I wonder if we try the kitchen somewhere else. Okay, if we put the I don't know why I said it like that. If we put the cabinetry toward the front wall of the house, that window is going to need to be shorter, which may negatively impact our elevation. We'll play with that in a sec. Actually, we got those. Did them somewhere. Did I do them just in 3D? I did, didn't I? Okay. How wide is this? That's 7.6. So if we did... Okay. And you have great room area here. Dining is kind of floating. Let's grab some. We most likely do electric fireplaces in these. Electric fireplaces have been getting a lot better in recent years. Yeah, so you could go your pocket office here. I want to pull it back though. I hate angled walls. But could do something like that for that pocket office. A little window looking out on the porch. Get some work done. I guess the island doesn't need to be quite that big, although rarely, if ever, had somebody tell me they want a smaller island. It's happened, but it's just rare. One thing that's tricky about this kitchen too is I can't put the range on this wall, and the fridge might have to go here and then range there. Let's grab those two so we can see it as I'm explaining. So you have kind of a far distance between your fridge and range. Which, yeah, I don't know that I love. That might not be the optimal layout. Let's go back to this. Let's try something here. Let's flip our main bump outs. Oh, no, wait, not that. Still this one. But we're going to flip our main bump out. And put our pocket office up here by the front door. Maybe we even make that a couple feet deeper. What do you say? Okay. Or maybe this goes here. How big of an island are we getting that? Oh, yeah, good size. Okay, don't hate it. I know most people would say put the kitchen sink under the window so you can see out the front yard. This island is 6'2" by 4. If we leave it set as is, I can get a giant kitchen. Actually, that kind of doesn't help with cost. It's borderline too big. But we get our office here. That'd actually be kind of nice. That office ends up being a good size too. Almost bigger than the previous version. I could get the lines clicked in the right things. 6'7" by 8'8", that office. Yeah, that's, I mean, again, with this type of plan, we're not going to get the biggest ever, office layout design, but at least we can get a usable room out of it, which is cool. Let's grab some text. You are kind of walking right into the kitchen or the great room, but you don't see the sink right when you walk in, which I think is a positive. Kitchen you could lay out a couple ways. You could put the sink on this front wall, or put the sink in the island, or put the sink in the sidewall. Although, no, take that back. You're going to need that sidewall for the range. There's really no other good way to lay out this kitchen. And then you have room. Now we've got a little flexibility with the fridge. You can put the fridge on this end here. You have room to do that. And then this all becomes storage. Yeah, we probably end up doing pantry cabinet here so you can preserve that as office space. Don't take this walk-in pantry. But I still kind of like the idea of whenever you're doing spec units, whether that's true spec or you're building rentals and things, I think flexibility is huge in these spaces. So to have this room that Could be an office if you want to throw shelving in there. Could be your pantry. Could be your coat closet. It serves a bunch of purposes, and I think that's great. You really want to aim for stuff like that if you're designing spaces like this. So obviously, you don't know how people are going to use it. Okay, then we got our cute little side porch here. Yes, it would kind of be looking right at a neighbor, but you do have the side yard here as well. So I wonder if we could even stagger these units as we build them on the sites. You know, let's do like a potential site plan down here. So if that's our party wall, neighboring plan, maybe the neighboring plan's right there, so the patios aren't right into each other. And this version goes back again. Yeah, could do something like that. Okay, what was the one I was working on? This one? Yeah. Okay. As far as roof goes, I think we did. I would probably do a back patio on these two. Maybe covered, maybe not. But just so you're not throwing away that backyard space, I think it'd be nice to go for the masters out there. We got a little office. This is dining, obviously. Got distracted by the song. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I was going to talk about roof lines. So I really like the idea of a clean, simple roof that sits over all this. You can spring it at the back line of this pantry if you want. And this will most likely be truss, but this is a very simple truss roof. You spring it at like the front line of the front porch. You'll have a girder truss this way that will catch front gables. And this way, those big solid white lines that just drew. So you girder truss catching that. You'll most likely have a girder. No, this will probably be an add-on because I'll probably do this as a shed off of the main roof. Jeff Sawyer joined. What's up, buddy? I haven't talked to him in forever. He probably was not ready for a call out this morning. Oh man. Okay, so let's play around with this some in 3D. Let's get our 3D software back up. Yeah, this is. So I had these saved, although this is a little too much detail to really work effectively from, so I'm going to need to rebuild it. Because mirroring all that crap will take forever. Just here to rebuild it. All right, let's. We're gonna grab an open file. So we're gonna do open the VerboProp SketchUp file. So, exporting the SketchUp, I will get the simplest outline of the building. So I can start building it in 3D. Comes at 8:30. All right, and then we're just gonna delete all the interior detail that we just worked on. Normally in plans like this, I would go through and develop the master bath, the master closet, but I actually know we have plenty of room for that stuff. We have more than our last versions, so I'm not worried about it. I have an idea that will work and a couple others that we can try. So, and also it helps to know if something looks good in 3D before you spend too much time on developing the interiors. That double line, we don't need that. Okay. Let's save that, and then we're going to import it. drive. There we go. Okay. Then I'll usually explode this. I'll group it later. And make faces with those. Okay, so top of foundation, these are slab on grade. So top of foundation will be 8 inches up from grade. We got 9'1" and an 1/8 top plate. We can really just work off of that. These patios would be 4 off of grade. And then, yeah, I'll do no overhang on that center line, group it and mirror it so we can see it all together. Yeah, let's do 12-inch overhang on everything. Cut through there. Just gonna bump up 6. If you're doing trusses, that usually bumps up. If you're doing rafters, it usually bumps down. But it's for rendering, I'm not, it's within inches, so I'm not super concerned about it. This porch will be covered as well, so let's bring that out a foot past. We like to do headers here. It just adds the look and feel of makes you feel more sheltered as you're walking in. Yesterday I was experimenting with PromeAI. I feel like it's getting way better. I go back and forth on whether I should be excited or terrified about AI. But it was cool because I was pulling up stuff, and for the first time I felt like, okay, a plan that I developed, and then I would put in there just to get, I'm just looking for architectural styling. I don't want it to design a building for me. I just wanted to take what I designed and make it look, more like hand drafted or something. And so for the first time ever, I felt like, the first time in forever, I'm not going to sing, sorry. The first time ever, I felt like it was something I could send to a client. Most of the AI stuff I've used, it looks cool, but I'm like, I can never send that to a client because it altered the building way too much. And it's just didn't keep any of the original intent or character to it, or doesn't match my floor plan at all, and I can't send that. Just here's a thing an idea an AI made. But for these, I was able to do some pretty cool stuff with it. See if I can pull up the ones I was playing with yesterday. Sorry, this is a total tangent, but MySpace. Anybody have a MySpace? Am I aging myself? My assets? There we go. Did those. Where are the ones I made yesterday? I can't find any of this stuff. This is just a reminder that I'm getting old. Maybe I can pull it up another way. I'll put my email on the main screen. It is. Yep. Okay. That's fine. Joys of a live streamer. All right, but I do have one. Pull up here. Let's see. Okay, so this is the image I made. It actually matched my geometry pretty well. But obviously I didn't hand sketch it. I modeled everything in SketchUp, just go do it now, and then input it, and it all spat that out. So it's kind of cool. Maybe we'll do that for this one as well. See how it looks and feels when we're done here. All right, so let's get back to the model. These windows in the front need to be a little shorter. I know that because there's cabinetry there. I don't even need to make the decision yet on, is this 24 inches deep? Why is that only 20 inches deep? I don't need to make the decision yet on kitchen sink and island versus the window, because I have room for both. Actually, now that it's 5'10", I'm going to put it on the window because then I can put my dishwasher right next to it. We're going to explode this, I think. And then we're going to make it unique. We're going to cause this to lose a foot. That's a 4-footer. Bring that up. Okay. Then we'll look at that midpoint. We're going to come down 12 inches. Top of the wall 1. Cool beans. Get this trim over. And there we go. Oh, lost my Instagram feed. If you're just jumping on, have a question about literally anything, drop it in the chat. It doesn't have to be just about this building. Okay, let's do, I think these were 812s. I just want to match the previous version. Oh no, those look like 10s. Yeah, oh wait. Yeah, 1012. Okay. Let's do 1012s to match in those front gables. They're small too, so we can add a little bit of height to them without adding a ton of cost. We're not covering a ton of area. Then we'll do a 612 front to back because it is kind of a big roof and we don't want it to be massive. That'll all blend nicely, I think. Personal opinion. Put you on later. Copy these lines over. Once you have your pitch lines, it gets pretty easy to develop this. Okay, and then that is going to push back to that face. And bring this to match. And then we'll do our main gable. So this will be the thing that carries the main roof. One thing that adds expense to these expand truss roofs, which you really can't avoid, I can really creative with it, is they're all usually piggyback truss, which means that shape is too big to fit on a semi, so they need to assemble like as a 2 or 3-parter on site, which just adds to the cost. You're shipping out more pieces, more material, more labor. So if you can keep it, I think it's around 12 feet. I need to double check that measurement. But if you can keep your trusses total height under 12 feet, usually they can fit on a semi, and that'll help you with the cost. Doing 6-inch fascia here. What did I do for bird boxes? I just did the standard ones. Okay. Up there and there. Delete all that. There and there. That's push that back to the base. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this in PromeAI too and see what happens. Should be fun. I'm meeting with the builder right after this, so I'm excited to show them these. So if they have any feedback. All right, we need to make sure that's at the center point. Where'd it go? Sometimes SketchUp, because you're working in 3 dimensions, really freaks out on you. Is that not? And then one of these like cheater things you can do is just, all that geometry doesn't join perfectly, but because it's a group, it's fine. Just push it back into the gable, and no one will ever know, except for you. the select few that watch this live stream. Let's get a bracket too. Where did those brackets go? Okay. This here. Okay. And just get it a monotone color. Okay. I'm going to make that a group. Move it over. Hit our transform button. -1. Move it over a little more. Join those right at the roof. Okay. Now, let's take our image here and put this into PromeAI. See what we can come up with. Upload a sketch. Awesome. Okay. So we got this. We got our style. I'm using the same style as yesterday, which was, I think, this very, very sad girl. I don't know why she's so sad. Creativity 40, artistry 17. Let's just see. Well, was this the one I used? I can't remember which style I used now. I'm gonna play around with it. I got credits. Got credits to burn. Oh, there's all the ones I was playing with yesterday. It's a building head up. It looks like the Instagram is frozen. Is that right? I guess you wouldn't know. Well, let's just keep going for YouTube. Oh, that turned out pretty cool. Yeah, that's basically the geometry I had. It's not really like destroying it, which is nice. Let's see if we do something with a little more color in it. What it'll do. Restream. Seems that Instagram is still connected. I don't know if it is or not, though. Sorry, Instagrammers. If I lost you, I lost you. All right. Drum roll, please. Okay. Pretty similar to what we had before. Yeah. Not much different. Although they turned out pretty cool. I'll just say. It doesn't know what to do with these gable pediments. It's not sure on those, but yeah. Don't hate it. Sweet. All right. Well, I got to roll. Instagram. Again, sorry that stuff cut out on you. But hopefully we got something cool here that we can work with. And yeah, enjoy your day. I hope you have an awesome one. Peace out. Okay.